So this is a little video for Patrick's Reel, which is at the end of Fiddle Time Joggers. I'm going to do the violin version. I'm not sure if the viola version is quite the same. I think it is, but you might have to use fourth fingers for the E's. It's made up of lots of different ingredients, and I'm not even going to talk you through the whole piece, but we're going to explore several things. So the first thing is that it uses our normal finger pattern. So if I start on a D string, we're going to get this. I'm going to do a D major scale. So that's D and A strings going up and then down. But our main note in this piece isn't the D, is the E. So we're going to start on our first finger, and we're going to do a kind of weird scale. So we're going to go from the first finger on the D string all the way up to the E string, or fourth finger I might do, and then back down. And it's going to sound like this. So our main note, even though we're using the same finger pattern, doesn't sound the same. We're going to start with the first finger, so we're not starting with it. We're still doing the same fingering. We haven't moved any fingers around. And it already sounds completely different to what we've been doing. It's not quite minor either. So our normal scale, we call it a major scale. It sounds kind of, I don't just want to say happy, but kind of, yeah. It's quite familiar to us. We're used to it. We've got a thing called a minor scale, which kind of sounds sad, for lack of a better explanation, or a bit kind of dark and maybe angry. This one, it's neither of those. It's a different kind of scale called a mode, and they tend to be very old. They're used in folk music, and they're also used in very old medieval music. So actually, one of the students said to me earlier that it sounded like, reminded her of like a princess in a castle, and she was spot on, because it's this old. It's just a completely different set of notes. So you might want to explore improvising using basically your three fingers on the D string, but making this first finger, the E, your main note. So you might end up with things like this. Fiddle around with those notes, but start and end on the first finger instead of starting on the D, and it'll sound completely different. Then the next thing you've got is two little patterns. So in fact, I've almost done it just already. And it just goes up. I'm starting with the first finger and I'm going up as far as the third finger. So it's just a phrase that goes da 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 da. And then I've got another phrase, which is, if you look at the music, you'll see it's the same phrase, the same little shape. It's made up of quavers, which are the joined together notes, the faster ones, and it starts a little bit lower, but it does the same shape. So you've got la 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 la, and then you've got la 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 la, and you've got la 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 la. So you've got all of those things. So you've got starting on the first finger, and then you've got it repeated but starting on the D, so it only gets up as far as the second finger. And you've also got this rhythm in it, so it just, and then in the second half of the piece you've got a long rhythm. So you've got a few other tricky things. So these phrases that I played before, they're quite fast in the end. And there's some notes in between. Oh, I've got to hop my first finger across. That's worth practicing. So the bow changes strings. and the finger changes strings. So both of my elbows, if you can see my left elbow. Slightly exaggerated movement. So explore that, but you've got to practice hopping that first finger across. And you've got another little phrase with quavers, which sounds like this. That reminds me of something. Oh, it's the middle bit of Frère Jacques. That's what it is. So it's actually the same as the middle bit for Frère Jacques. So it's A, B, first finger, A, all 3 fingers on the D string, 2, and then D. So A, B, A, G, and then F sharp, D. So G is the 3rd finger. You need to practice doing this. And then the rest of the piece, I think, is fairly straightforward. Oh, just the very last phrase. So it starts with the 3rd finger, goes to the 2nd finger, the 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, D, B, A, 2 fingers, so F sharp. So you need to practice going A and then 2 fingers as well. So you've got to practice A to 3 fingers, A to G. And you've got to practice A to 2 fingers. So you've got things to explore: the mode, the little phrases. They're not slurred. You've got this rhythm, which you can also use to practice. You've got the longer rhythm. So explore those different things. You might want to look at some Irish music, because these modes are used quite a lot in Irish music, and also because Patrick's reel is inspired by Irish music. So you might want to have a listen to some Irish music. You might want to have a listen to some medieval music or Gregorian chant, which will use these modes, these sort of weird scales that are slightly less familiar to us, and they sound medieval because they are medieval. You might want to explore some rhythms using and you might want to practice those little bits of technical things with putting the 3rd finger straight onto the string when you're crossing the strings from the A to the D string, but you've got to get all your fingers on in one go. I know some people find that tricky still at this level. I definitely suggest that you use some of the listening, because it'll give you a real feel for this piece. I hope you have fun. Try and do some little improvisations using those notes. So just using my normal notes on the D string, but starting and ending with the 1st finger, so it makes it sound completely different. And see if you can come up with some little tunes of your own, and things that will help you to practice, but maybe be a bit more interesting than what I would give you. So have fun exploring this piece.